Urban legends are usually nothing more than a scary story that travels through word of mouth. You probably all heard about the Candyman or the Jersey Devil. Now, while these stories are nothing more than pure fiction, there are some urban legends that turn out to be absolutely true. Keeping that in mind, I've come up with 10 urban legends that can be linked to true stories. So you know what, it's time to buckle up for this one. Things are about to get bumpy. How's it going, YouTube? I'm your host for this one, Landon Do Not Sing, and welcome back to another Most Amazing Top 10 video. If you guys missed the last part of this video, make sure you guys click right over here, and also make sure you check out our Most Amazing shop. The link for our merch is in the description down below. You can get the Is This Real Life Right Now shirts, the most amazing shirts. I'm super excited that we have it for you guys, and if you guys use promo code MA10, we'll give you guys an additional $5 off. Alright, let's get down to business with this one. This is the top 10 scary urban legends that are actually true, part 3, just because there are so many of them. Oh, and you might want to make sure your doors are locked and your lights is on because things are about to get pretty scary. Kicking things off, and at number 10, we have the impersonating police officers. There is an urban legend that has been circulating for quite some time now about people who would dress up as police officers. They would pull people over, kidnap, or abduct them. This sounds absolutely terrifying because it's true. There have been reports of people dressing up as police officers so that they can attack their victims who let their guards down. In Illinois, a man used flashlights to get a woman to pull over, but after he walked over to her car, he tried to overpower her, but thankfully they got away. So basically, you should always be cautious when you're driving alone at night, and whenever a police officer pulls you over, if you don't see a legitimate badge, then you could be the next victim of this scary urban legend. Maybe you should ask the police officer for his license and registration. A corpse rotting in the water supply makes it onto our list at number 9. So you know how sometimes when you're staying in a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, whatever it may be, the water might either smell or taste weird, but you still brush your teeth anyways. Me, I don't have a problem with that. I have no problems not brushing my teeth. Well, this next urban legend will make you want to reconsider. That's because a story about a dead body floating in the water supply is responsible for making the water turn brown or taste off. But as it turns out, this is more than just a story. This stuff actually happens. Back in 2013, guests staying at the Los Angeles hotel were complaining that there was a terrible smell coming from the water. So finally, management decided to check the water tank, and to their surprise, they found the body of a 21-year-old woman floating inside. It's estimated that her body has been there for over 2 weeks. Next up on our list, at number 8, we have medication being laced with poison. According to this urban legend, our over-the-counter medication might actually have some added ingredients that weren't on the label. Apparently, some people used to lace Tylenol with potassium cyanate, which is an extremely deadly poison. After several people died, these deaths were known as the Tylenol murders. So you know how over-the-counter medication now has those tamper-proof seals? Well, it's because this urban legend turns out to be true, and a lot of people died, so the FDA had to step up their game. Escalators and chopped off feet slice their way into number 7. Do you guys remember when your parents told you to make sure that your shoes were tied before you went on an escalator? Well, I don't remember my parents telling me that. Well, it wasn't just to bother you or to annoy you. They might have been actually trying to save your life, or at least your foot. There was an urban legend circulating around about how your shoelaces can easily get stuck inside of the escalator and how you can get sucked in or chewed up alive. Well, there's some truth to this urban legend. Every year, nearly 10,000 kids are sent to the emergency room due to escalator-related injuries, ranging from mangled limbs to the occasional foot amputations. Think I'm making this up, Google it, but I don't recommend you Googling it because, oh man, the things on the internet that we see. So what is the moral of the story here? Well, I think you should be taking the stairs for the rest of your life. Unless you have shoes that you do not have to tie, in which, in this case, all I wear is shoes with no laces on it, because I'm lazy. Number 6 takes us to snakes living in the toilet. We've all been scared to open up the toilet lid only to discover that an angry animal is living inside of the bowl waiting to bite you. Well, if you've never been scared or checked the toilet bowl before sitting, you're definitely gonna wanna start checking it out from now on. Well, that's because there are so many stories about people finding strange animals hanging out in their toilet water. Someone found a 5.5 long snake, another person found a family of rats. I don't know what it was doing or how it got in there, and someone actually saw a possum.
Can you even imagine a snake in your toilet? It seems to be happening more and more.
Just when you thought you were in the privacy of your own bathroom, you're not alone. An animal could be lurking in the water waiting to make its move. Losing your arm during tug-of-war could actually be a thing, and this takes us to number 5. When we were younger, parents used to tell us that if we were too intense during a game of tug-of-war, we might lose our hands, fingers, or even an entire arm. Of course, we would just brush off those cautionary tales, but this terrifying urban legend is actually true. There are a ton of reports about adults and children losing their limbs while playing this game. And you know how some people wrap the rope around their wrists to help them win? Well, they are actually putting themselves in a lot of danger because it is so much easier to lose a hand this way. If all of these reports are true, then why the heck are we still playing this game of tug-of-war? I mean, you're gonna tug my arm off. I'm pretty sure no one even likes playing this game, especially if you're in the front and you're the one that has to fall in the mud. I mean, I'd rather be the guy in the back who's pretending to do all the work. And now at number 4, using corpses as decoration. With Halloween coming up, you might want to take a closer look at some of your neighbor's decorations or the decorations in haunted houses because, well, they could be real corpses disguised as fake dead bodies. According to the urban legend, some carnivals would run out of paper mache, so instead of wasting all of their time making new ones or making more of them, they would find a dead body and hang it in their haunted house in order to scare their customers. And I guess it looks more real? Well, that's because it is real. This actually happened back in the 70s. A criminal was embalmed and put on display for others to see. People would pay about 5 cents to see the corpse by dropping a nickel into his mouth. But one day, 2 people who claimed to be the dead criminal's brother took his corpse and hung him in their funhouse. People passing through the house didn't suspect that a real corpse was hanging from the ceiling until one day when someone went to move it and his rotting arm just fell off. The government using deceased children, and this urban legend brings us to number 3. There was speculation going around during World War II that the US government was illegally testing on corpses. A lot of people thought that this was just a rumor going around, but like everything else on this list, it turns out to be true. Apparently the US wanted to test how nuclear radiation would affect human flesh. So they couldn't get any volunteers for the research. I mean, what a shocker with that one. So they decided to use deceased children. This was known as Project Sunshine, but there was nothing gleeful from this experiment. This is incredibly morbid and super unethical, and the parents weren't even notified that their children's bodies were being experimented on. Another Halloween prank comes onto this list at number 2. This is an urban legend about a teenager performing in a Halloween show. He really wanted to have a grand finale, so at the end of his act, he was gonna pretend to hang himself in front of everybody. But he ended up actually hanging himself in front of everybody and died because everyone thought it was just a trick. Well, sadly enough, there is truth to this urban legend, and it's happened more than once. People have been trying to replicate this stunt, but somehow they forgot to, not actually kill themselves. I'm just spitballing here, but if I was performing a trick like this, I would definitely take some precautions. For one, I wouldn't put a rope that is tied to a noose around my neck, and if I do, make sure you have the one person there who knows how the trick works, and if he sees, the trick not going according to plan, to come save my life. The dead body in the mattress tops this list at number 1. This is a very popular urban legend about a hotel guest complaining about an overwhelming stench coming from his room. So when they did some investigating, they found a dead body in his mattress. Well, brace yourselves for this one because this happens in real life, and it happens a lot more than you think. Doing the research for this was absolutely insane. I did a quick Google search and came across a ton of headlines about dead bodies hidden in hotel rooms. I mean, why is this going on? So if you guys are in a hotel room, make sure you guys check it out. Make sure there's no lumps in the bed, if you guys know what I mean. Or maybe it's just best to sleep on the floor. But then again, that's probably the worst place. You probably get I don't know what kind of diseases you get down there. And if there's a dead body in the mattress, definitely things spilled onto the floor. Well, there you guys have it. This is the end of the video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I was your host for this one, Landon Do Not Sing, and I'll see you guys all in the next most amazing top 10 video.